A couple of things. First of all, town halls are for the voters, not for the press, not for the person who's the moderator. Caitlin spent more time interjecting her own viewpoints or her own views on the situation.
Excuse me, those are actually facts.
Now, are you guys not going to interject your views on me, or do I get a chance to speak now?
If you're speaking falsely, those were facts.
The town hall is for the president to speak to the voters of New Hampshire, not for this back and forth with media. That's number one. Hold on. That's number one. Number two, with respect to Ukraine, I totally disagree. He did not say he was just going to give over Ukraine the way you intimate, Van. He did not say that.
He didn't say what he said. He did not say that he would stand for a victory.
What he said is that he would actually look for a solution to end it quickly. He put 24 hours on it, but let's be very clear. What Joe Biden has done has been a disaster, because initially with Ukraine, Joe Biden wanted to give Vladimir Zelensky a ride out of Dodge. He wanted to give him a plane ride. And it wasn't until people in Moscow, in Ukraine, here in the United States said this invasion is wrong that Joe Biden reversed course.
Do you want a victory in Ukraine? Do you want a victory in Ukraine?
I'm just trying to respond to everything that's been coming up on the table. Last thing, let me say this. We spent 22, 23 minutes talking about January 6th. We could have been talking about a whole lot of other issues instead of doing that for the first half hour or so. But let me be very clear. What was said in this town hall about National Guard troops that were authorized by Caitlin was wrong. I'm on the Oversight Committee. I was in 2 hearings on January 6th. It was testified in oversight that Donald Trump authorized National Guard troops on January 4. He followed up in a call with then acting Secretary of Defense on January 5, trying to see where the deployment was on those troops. That is testimony in the Oversight Committee. Everybody testified in Oversight Committee when Nancy Pelosi was Speaker of the House, except one organization, and that was the Capitol Police.
Did you read the
Nancy Pelosi would not allow that. I'm telling you what was testified to in the Oversight Committee under oath.
Well, let me just correct you, because what Caitlin was saying was what the former Secretary of Defense wrote in his book. He said the president did not.
I am telling you what he testified to under oath. In the Oversight Committee.
Congressman, can I just ask,
are the facts. Go ahead.
You do acknowledge Donald Trump lost the 2020 election, correct?
Again, we're going to continue to talk about 2020.
No, I mean, it's a direct question.
Now, hold on. Let me tell you why most voters are frankly kind of tired of y'all bringing this up. Inflation, border.
You don't have the courage to express your opinion about what happened.
I'm a Republican voter. I'm a Republican voter.
Voters want to talk about inflation, the border, fentanyl, the debt ceiling, foreign policy. If you want to talk about the 2020 election, let's talk about this. We do know that Mark Elias was in many jurisdictions suing to actually change election procedures, which, by the way, is at the hands of the state legislature in every state, according to the Constitution. Not in the hands of courts, not in the hands of the Supreme Court, the state legislature. We do know that to be a fact. We do know that true.
You won't state your opinion about factually what happened in the 2020
election. You guys
election?
want me to make a statement. And this is, Frank, let me tell you right now. This is what's frustrating to a lot of people. You want me to state it the way you want me to state it.
No, I don't.
I am telling you.
I want you to just answer the question.
And the reasons behind why certain people look at the 2020 election the way that they do.
I understand why some people believe it.
Moving forward into 2024, a couple of things are very, very clear. The nation is a mess. Our border is overrun. Inflation is crippling every family. Republican, Democrat, Independent. Those are the facts of the matter in 2024, not 2020. Can I just ask you a question? Not 2020.
Wow, that CNN panel could not handle Representative Byron Donalds. He told the truth. He was fearless, and he did not accept their political talking points. The media criticizes Trump about his discussion around 2020, yet it's the first question they ask him when they sit down with him. Why is that? They are trying to keep that narrative alive because they know the American people right now are suffering. What are the American people going through? Extremely high inflation, high price of living. This is the highest inflation at least since the 70s, maybe beyond then if you don't believe the government CPI reports. We are not doing great. The southern border, since Title 42 ended, we're especially under invasion, and Byron Donalds was not having their talking points. What's funny is, furious as they were, it was their bosses, CNN bosses, that said, let's bring Donald Trump on for some of those good ratings. And then they got good ratings out of it, and then surprisingly, they took it down off of their website. The town hall, the full video, is really hard to find. If you go look for it, they seemed embarrassed by it. They even cut out the last 20 minutes when it was still up for a short amount of time. but they got their views out of it, so hopefully they're happy. Now Fox says they want to have Trump on because they want some of those good reviews. Even the audience members who were handpicked by CNN were clapping for Donald Trump. They were clapping for the things he said. And you saw that moderator, she was trying to get him at every single angle. No reasonable person could believe that's a moderator. That's a town hall moderator. That's a political activist. And that's okay if you say it out loud. Just say it. Don't say that you're a moderator when you clearly have an agenda. You know, I don't know who Trump has on his short list for vice president, but Representative Byron Donalds probably wouldn't be a bad pick, electorally speaking. He is a very strong conservative, and he knows how to stand his ground, and he stood up to that entire CNN panel. They grew more frustrated the more he countered their narrative with cold, hard facts. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you're on YouTube, follow if you're on Facebook. We'll be back with more videos soon. Have a great day.